You will have to save your city from the destruction caused by the colossal battle between the demon Toad Trotter and a spirit beast with electric powers. We are back with the anime, Immortal King, Season 3. Episodes 4, 5 and 6. Yoshiko Kumiya, the newest student at 60 High, is informed by her bodyguards that the newest game Monster Beast Go, produced by the young woman's family, is already making a tremendous success throughout the Songhai region. The girl's confidence increases when she hears that information, because through this, her degree of popularity in the school would be raised to the extreme. At that moment, her helicopter lands at the entrance of the school, and in her thoughts the girl believes that she has become the most popular student. However, the reality is quite different, as the most popular being at 60 High today is the spirit beast, who now goes by the name of Sylvie. He is under the care of Kuo Hao, and on his first day of appearance at the school, he managed to attract the attention of all the students due to his appearance. That morning, the students are in their classrooms. Meanwhile, Froggy is observant, and due to his demonic instinct, he wishes to obtain the blood of Sylvie for himself. He claims that it is something valuable and therefore wishes to eliminate his prey. However, Wang Ling notices the strange movement of the creature and understands the real motivation of the green dog, so the young man strongly strikes the trotting frog with a piece of twig. The pressure of the blow is so strong that Froggy ends up sinking to the ground. The protagonist, with the branch in his hands, traces a circle around Sylvie that was a protection magic to prevent any threat from approaching the spiritual beast. The young man returns to the classroom, taking Froggy with him. But still in that vicinity, Yoshiko was watching the spirit creature. The girl also wishes to obtain its blood. The girl approaches the animal, but in doing so, triggers Ling's protection magic. A tremendous explosion happens around Sylvie. Yoshiko ended up being hit hard by the magic, and ends up unconscious on top of one of the trees. At break time, all the students gather around Sylvie to feed him with snacks, but the moment of happiness comes to an end with the arrival of instructor Wang, who tells his students that it is forbidden to bring spirit beasts to school. However, the instructor cannot maintain his seriousness as he looks at Sylvie, becoming enchanted by the animal, as well as the other students. Yoshiko, who was recovering from the injuries caused by the explosion, observes carefully all the movement from afar. She says that if she cannot enter the protected area, she will make the spirit beast itself come out of it. After the break is over, the students return to their respective classrooms. Sylvie is left alone again. At that moment, a red pill is thrown into his protected area. The animal thinks it was another snack and quickly devours it. A few seconds pass, and to everyone's surprise, Sylvie obtains a colossal size, becoming so big that it no longer fits in the protected area. It doesn't take long for the gigantic beast to start causing trouble throughout the school. It devours a spirit sword and completely destroys Froggy's house. Instructor Wang asks his students to be patient, as Sylvie is still a puppy and does not have full control of his actions. After these words, Sylvie does its business on top of Professor Wang, leaving him completely covered in a colorful material. At the end of the day, Wang Ling and his friends decide to put Sylvie to sleep in the school gym. They follow, worried about the physical state that the spirit beast is in, still trying to understand what caused the sudden increase in Sylvie's size. That same night, Yoshiko appears before the spiritual beast. The girl waited for everyone to leave the place to put her plan into practice. She wants to evolve Sylvie to its third phase, using an evolution stone to speed up the process. Sylvie panics when he realizes the girl's real intention, so the spirit beast devours the evolutionary stone. Yoshiko is annoyed by this and quickly tries to make the spirit beast return the artifact, as that item was extremely expensive. In the middle of that fight between Sylvie and Yoshiko, the evolution stone ends up taking effect even in the animal's intestine. Wang Ling and Kuo Hao, who were returning to the place to take some heaters to the creature, end up being surprised by a big explosion. Sylvie is now in his third evolutionary form. The spirit beast manages to get out of the gym and now runs around the city in his colossal size, bringing chaos and destruction to the inhabitants of Songhai. The 7-star squadron, led by hero Zhou Yi, heads to the site to eliminate the beast. Kuo Hao urges the group not to attack Sylvie, as even though he is colossal in size, he still has a kind heart. At that moment, Sylvie, realizing the presence of Kuo Hao on the scene, devours him without even hesitating. Wang Ling, who was watching the situation from afar next to Froggy, thinks of a safe way to contain Sylvie's attack, so the young man takes off a bandana that the green dog was wearing around his neck. That piece of cloth is the seal that contains the real form of the trotting frog. The giant frog appears with all his strength in the middle of the city. A combat of giant beasts was about to happen. Froggy felt confident with his power, but quickly receives a strong attack from his opponent. The trotting frog prepares to charge his giant beast cannon, but Ling warns him that he should only act when he receives an order. The spirit creature charges a powerful electric current in its horn, after which it advances towards the giant toad to deliver a piercing blow. At that moment, Wang Ling opens the huge mouth of the trotting frog, and the electric spiritual beast advances into Froggy. The protagonist then closes the mouth of the trotting frog and the creature absorbs all the spiritual energy of his opponent, leaving him unable to return to the fight. Froggy goes into a complete state of exhaustion after devouring so much energy. Sylvie is spat out of his mouth, and Kuo Hao is also freed. Ling finds the evolution stone and destroys it into several pieces. A long time ago, a sales festival took place in the quiet town of Songhai. Wang Ling and his father were looking to buy a spirit sword. A vendor working around the place offers a gold-plated blade to the young man's father, claiming it to be a valuable and extremely powerful artifact. The protagonist, on the other hand, was in awe of a small wooden sword, apparently of no value at all. The young man realizes that it possesses quite a high spiritual power, but that very night, the little boy and his father return home without buying any sword. Years after this event, the students of 60 High are conducting tests of strength and endurance with their respective spirit swords. In one of the confrontations, Ling will have to challenge his friend as part of the evaluation. Chen Zhao goes confidently on with the blade that is currently a rare treasure of his family. He tells Wang Ling that the young man should not be disappointed if his wooden sword is completely destroyed by his Li Chao. Instructor Wang gives the signal for the two students to start the fight. Chen Zhao acts quickly and, leaping up, unleashes a powerful attack on Ling. The protagonist wields his sword and several cuts are made at an absurd speed. Through this clash, Chen Zhao's gigantic blade suffers severe damage and ends up in a terrible state. The young man is confused by the outcome of the fight and at the same time saddened that his sword is in such a deplorable condition. Wang Ling questions the guardian spirit of his sword, Jing Ke, wanting to know why he used so much force unnecessarily in a simple test. Xiao Yu, who was watching the fighting closely, says that his friend's sword will have to go through a recovery process and be forged again. Meanwhile, Sun Rong was intently concentrating with her blade multiplication magic. The girl at that moment ends up deconcentrating and all her swords are thrown in Wang Ling's direction. The students realize that the carelessness was not Sun Rong's, but in fact Ling's own sword drew the girl's blades towards him using an incredible magnetic force. Xiao Yu deduces that the protagonist's sword may have awakened. The girl explains that spiritual blades when overused by their masters eventually enter a new state of awakening. When this occurs, the object can become aggressive and rebellious. The girl further revealed that the spirit blades, upon awakening, generate a magnetic field around them, attracting the swords of the opposite gender close to them, while completely repelling those of the same gender. For this reason Chen Zhao's sword was completely bent, while Sun Rong's blades were attracted. Xiao Yu says there is a way to solve everyone's problem. The solution is found in a place called the Tomb of Swords. So, to finish the test, the group of friends goes to the place informed by Xiao Yu. The girl says that she grew up in this region since she came to Earth, and in this same place, her sister maintains several types of swords. When they get there, Xiao Yu's sister replies that Chen Zhao's sword has not been damaged too badly and would surely be restored without any problems. Ling shows the current situation of his spirit blade and quickly his sword is drawn by Xiao Yu's sister. The woman tells everyone that it is normal for a sword to be in this condition when awakened, but this case is something out of the ordinary. She says that in this period the blades feel confused and helpless, and for this reason they need all the necessary support. Just then, the 7-star squadron arrives on the scene to repair their swords. Zhou Yi reveals to everyone that a powerful swordswoman is causing serious problems in the Songhai region. She has the power to bend all swords she comes into combat with, leaving her opponents completely defenseless. The group of students volunteer to defeat her, while the squadron retrieves their blades. Some time passes, and at that instant, the swordsmen who protect Yoshiko's family are being easily defeated by the mysterious girl. Yoshiko is informed that the 7-star squadron must arrive on the scene to battle that powerful enemy, and so the girl leaves with her guards. At that instant, several ground attacks are unleashed against the fighter. Kuo Hao was manipulating the ground to create various obstacles against his opponent. Sun Rong enters the battlefield by conjuring her ocean blades, firing several of them at the swordswoman. Xiao Yu also joins the group in trying to attack the mysterious enemy. The powerful warrior woman manages to fight all 3 students at the same time with great ease. In the distance, Wang Ling was watching the situation alongside Zhou Yi and the blade repairer. The protagonist tries his best to wield his blade again, but Jing Ke's spirit refuses to help him. Xiaoyu's sister tells the spirit that she likes strong, brave young men who will defend people from danger. At the same time, the powerful swordswoman advances towards Ling to defeat him, but Jing Ke jumps out of the sword and in his physical form unleashes a cut in the air, able to reveal for a few seconds the face of the opponent. Wang Ling recognized her at that moment, long ago, when he was still at the festival alongside his father. The young man returned that very night to the spirit blade seller, wishing to buy that simple wooden sword. The little boy manages to buy the blade, but forgets to take the sheath, abandoning it with the seller. Back in the present, Jing Kai recognizes that the swordswoman is his sister, and for Ling she is the sheath of his wooden sword. The two brothers meet again and together they complete each other after several years apart. A few days later, a frantic chase is taking place inside a train. A group of bandits have stolen an extremely valuable magical artifact and Zhou Yi chases them through the locomotive's carriages. The criminal group manages to separate the wagons and escapes with the valuable object. The hero is disappointed to realize that his mission was a failure. At that very moment, one of the passengers who holds the title of Lord Thunder talks to the squad leader. The man tells the hero that he should not worry, as the artifact was safe in his hands. On the other hand, the group of bandits celebrating the success of the mission realized that the relic was exchanged for a bomb, so the wagon they were in is completely blown up. That same day, Zhou Yi rejoins the Thunderlord's side. The hero will provide security for Songhai's important autumn auction. Like all participants in the event, both must wear a mask of some kind to avoid being identified. During the opening of the auction, Wang Ling was dueling against a little boy in a card game. The young man ends up humiliating the protagonist in the duel, claiming that Ling's cards are extremely weak. The whole fight was watched and admired by some well-known personalities, the group of children celebrating their friend's victory, while Ling felt disappointed with his defeat. Back at the important event, the hostess tells everyone that 10,000 valuable items were about to be released for purchase and sale. Among them were immortal plants thousands of years old, golden pills and magical items crafted by renowned masters. The first item to be auctioned is one of the last heavenly books. Within seconds of its release, the Tang and Sun families go head-to-head in multiple bids to snap up the book. The original value of 1 million quickly rises to 3 million. The hero Zhou Yi, who is also following the auction, wonders if an old book is worth that much, but the Thunderlord replies that it is no mere object. In those pages lies the legendary forbidden spell. The man reveals that this spell has been conjured for over 3,000 years. Whenever families met to make important exchanges, they would conjure this magic. Zhou Yi then questions the Thunderlord for not bidding on the book, but he responds by saying that there is a clear reason: poverty. While the big event was going on, Wang Ling buys 2 boxes of his favorite snack. Inside the packages there is a gift card, and so the protagonist begins the journey to improve his card deck. Back at the auction, a new rare item was attracting the eyes of all buyers. It was an indestructible pants. To test the durability of the garment, one of the employees fires several fire projectiles at the object and even tries to cut it using a chainsaw. Several bids are made and in the end, the indestructible pants are sold for millions. At that moment, the last item of the auction will be announced. It is the most valuable piece in that whole place. It is even surreal, being the same object that Zhou Yi managed to recover with the help of the Thunderlord. Titled as the White-Eyed Sealed Blue Dragon, the creature inside that object is able to fulfill any wish its bearer asks for. The richest families in the region go crazy with the announcement, all looking for a way to conquer that relic. Several bids of millions are given by the participants. At a certain moment, Yoshiko was with the highest bid to get the object, but the crowd is surprised with a bid higher than the girls. The Thunderlord offers an extremely absurd amount. Zhou Yi asks how he managed to get so much money to bid on that object, having previously replied that he was poor. The man informs the hero that the indestructible pants belonged to his collection and by selling them, he got the money he needed to bid. Everyone believed that the Thunderlord would bid for the legendary object, but the participants are surprised when the hero himself, Zhou Yi, announces that he wishes to bid 87 million. None of the families are able to cover this amount and the relic is finally bought by the hero. The Thunderlord asks how Zhou Yi had so much money and the hero replies that someone else had actually financed that bid. Wang Ling, who was watching the broadcast on a television, decided at the last minute to buy the magical artifact. The protagonist had no success in finding new cards for his collection and therefore decided to acquire the sacred object. At night, the hero meets Ling and hands him the relic. The Thunderlord, who was observing the conversation from afar, claims that he is the only one capable of removing the seals from the artifact. Ling, with the valuable piece in hand, drops the object on the ground and destroys it completely by stomping on it with all his might. Zhou Yi is astonished by the young man's attitude, while the Thunderlord is totally incredulous that the young man actually managed to break the seal of the artifact. At that moment, a strong light is released into the city skies. The blue dragon with white eyes is released in the greatest Shenlong style. The creature tells the young man that he can ask for anything and immediately his wish will be fulfilled. The protagonist, on the other hand, wields his spirit sword in hand and with just one blow, delivers a powerful cut that eliminates the huge dragon in seconds. Zhou Yi and the Thunderlord, watching what Wang Ling has done, believe that the young man is totally insane. The young man in return looks closely at the remains of spiritual energy that the monster had in his body. Through this, Ling gets the rare card of the white-eyed blue dragon in his hands. What did you think of Ling destroying the wish dragon just to get his special and powerful card? And what would you ask for if you had a direct wish? So, what did you think of this anime? Leave it in the comments below. And if you liked the video, like it and subscribe for more anime recaps. See you next time.